15th of February 2024, farming video here. I bought this jumper in Dunnes Stores in the sale for €10, and I just saw it looked good. It's part wool, new wool, but 10% or something, and then it's some kind of synthetic fibre. But straw and hay sticks to it. If you go near hay, it'll nearly jump over to it. It must be some kind of static or something. It's very, very hard to get it off. See, that sticks everywhere. So just to be wary of it. I have many other jumpers and cardigans and clothes, and that never happens. It's just whatever's in this. Anyway, it's just there's always a downside to something cheap, whatever it is. Now, I made a video on the pins, and I want to just make that a little bit clearer for you here and to show you what it is. The idea is that it won't go down through the slats. So you measure your slats and make sure that the tubing is correct. This is 2-inch tubing, you see it there. And it's as well to keep it in the one piece. An awful lot of engineering that's done. The inside work is done before they remove the outside. An awful lot of stuff is done like that. So if they're making a long tube, they drill it up the center, and then they turn it down so that it's concentric, so that the hole is in the center. It's nearly impossible to drill a hole up through the center of a piece of solid steel or any solid material. It'll come out a bit offside. So what they do is they drill it, they straighten it, and then they turn it down in a lathe to get it the hole in running up the exact center, or concentric as they say, or axially up through it. Now, the thing about it is you get, this is 2-inch, light gauge only, light gauge, mild steel, plenty. It'll rust a bit and all that, but it'll see you out. Now, the next thing you do is you drill a hole. You see one here. You drill a 10mm hole here, there. And you could countersink the top of it. This is another project I'm doing here where you use countersinking. You see that? A bigger drill bit will do countersinking. You don't need a special purpose countersinking drill. It's not essential to countersink this, but it means that when you clench the rod, it has a place to widen into. It's essential that this spike or this prong cannot come out, that pin. It must be permanently stuck on this. So now, so what do? You need then to get your pin or your prong, whatever you like to call it. This is 12mm mild steel, perfectly adequate. You need to get it turned down so it'll go into the 10mm hole, just a bit of it at the top, just a bit of it. Now, a lathe is ideal for that. If you don't have that, you would use an angle grinder. And if you're using an angle grinder, please use eye protection. And now I have bought a breathing apparatus thing, so that when I'm angle grinding, I'm not breathing it. Even the dust from them can be harmful in the long term. So mind the owl health anyway, and don't take chances with an angle grinder. Wear some type of eye protection essentially, and then something for the breathing if you can, a mask. Now, the thing is that when you get whatever patent you have, that this is protruding out. So so you can see here with this bit of paper here, you put it out about that much, right? Now this steel will not go up until you drill the bottom hole here. This hole here, 12mm. You have to drill this one 12mm so that it goes up into it like that and comes out through the top. But it can only go up as far as you reduce the diameter of the top. Do you understand? Now, you can do that by various means. A file will do it too if you have time. When you get that done, you leave your spikes. You see these here, leave them fairly long. You put it up to it. Now, the next bit then is that you need to clench the top. If you just weld it, it could break off, and you don't want the pins coming out. So what you do is, if you had a gas bottles, oxyacetylene, great. If you have a real good blow lamp, might bring it up, but you need it up to a yellow heat, or no, a red heat would do. The hotter the better. You could try sticking it in the fire. Hard to handle that. If you have a cold fire, if you're let do it, it might work, but it's messy. You can do it cold using a big lump of a lump hammer like this. Better than nothing. But the whole thing is, by clenching it, by upsetting it, you spread it out a bit. That means it can't come out. Now, whatever way you do it, that's all right. Another way might be to try and drill a wee hole up in it, a small hole, maybe 1/16 or something. It might help, but try and clench it anyway. When you have that done, you need then to, if you're stuck, if you can't find any other way of heating it, use the electric stick welder, the ordinary electric welder. Weld it a bit on the top. Don't weld it too much. Just weld it till it gets hot and then take it off and bang it down immediately. And that'll bring the temperature up. It's a simple way of doing it too. That's another way of upsetting it. Any heat, wherever you get it from, is good. Now, once you have that done, you'll end up with a situation like this where the spikes are sticking out at the bottom here. You then can put it in the vise, or if you have an anvil with a hole in it with an eye, put it down through the hole and wallop it here till you get it this shape. Do you see it slightly oblong, or do you see that? Sort of an ellipse, is that what you call it? See that there? See that? Upset it a bit so that it's not just round, that it's a bit widened out like that. Do you understand? Any bit will do. A little bit is better because it makes it a bit wider in case there's a narrow spot in the slats, and it doesn't affect it because it can't go down sideways. If it goes to go down this way, it'll get caught here with this. So the next thing is, when you have that done, you give it a bit of a clean up and get your welder or your stick welder, whatever it is, and weld it. You can give it a spot up here, but give it a good do down here, and you can give it a bit in the middle as well. Everything to widen this so that the pin won't come out. Now, do not weld down here. Do not weld this part. This part must be flush. It must be square. See that? Do not weld down there. So you have your clenching here. You have it welded on the top here. You can weld around the top in addition to the clenching. A good idea. And you can weld and clench as part of the same process. When you get it well battered down, you can give it another bit of welding at the top as well. No harm. Once it's clenched, don't burn it away. Don't burn away the clenching. And then a spot up here and a bit down here and a bit in the middle. Now you see it can't wobble because the hole on the bottom here is the same size as the pin. Do you understand? So you have a good thing. Now, when that's done, you get out your angle grinder, and again, for God's sake, folks, watch those eyes. Wear that protection. Always wear the good set of goggles. I have a full face thing. Some good visors and that available and all that. Use them. And watch out for fumes as well. You need a bit of protection that way. I didn't use the fume thing all my life. I always minded the eyes, but I didn't always mind the breathing, and it could be a problem. Sometimes God only knows. So far not. So then you have this here now. You have it upset properly. You can give it any other wee bit of weld you want. So you cut it out. This is cut out from this. You see, this is cut out from this. Get the point? Cut it out there, and with your 4-inch angle grinder is all right, and just cut it out of it. Just keep the sparks going, and be right, you should have an apron. I wouldn't worry about the old jumper. It'll always be fixed. I burn nearly every jumper and burn several pair of trousers and all that. But in any event, you wouldn't want petrol around it, could catch fire. You don't have to cut it square. You can cut it kind of at an angle. Do you see that? You can cut it kind of at an angle like that. There's no need to have it big wide here. The lighter it is, the better. Have it slightly like that, or going up like that. Make sure to leave this the correct length so that it won't go down through the slats. And I have a hole board here. Do you see the hole here? See it here in it? See it here in it? Now, that's to put a chain. So you can put a chain link, or you can drill a hole anywhere. I say bore a hole. Drilling is the right name. You can drill a hole anywhere in it to put a chain. It's no harm to have a chain as well. But you see, you want to make sure whatever you're doing, there won't be loose bits. In fact, it could be that this on its own is all you need. It's up to yourself whether you go with chain. But this chains break. I don't care what anyone says. They always break. I don't know why they always break. And if you do chains by right, you'd want to brace them or something, the split links or whatever, that they can't come off. In any event, this is the final product. You can give it a bit of a file or a bit of a grind around here, and it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And that's the great thing about it. It doesn't have to be straight. I don't see how you could paint it. If you could get it cleaned off and painted, it might help. I don't be bothered. If this will see me out, and when it's up out of the wet and among the cattle, it'll not rust much anyway. Have I got that explained to you now on less than 10 minutes, and then we leave that. But I think they're working very well for me. I must say I'm delighted with them. They're an absolute great job. And you can just open the gate out, and you can leave them in them, and if they fall on the ground, no harm. Folks, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Just another little idea to improve the animal health, our own well-being, and the animals' well-being, and to do well on the farm. Bye. We'll see you back for something else. Thank you.